The hardest prisoner to free isn't the one that's locked in a cell. It's the one who can't even see the bars, the ones who defend the prison. A minority of people watched my last video on "We are trained to live like prisoners," and they defended the system. And it got me curious about why they're defending the system and what they're defending. I just couldn't stop thinking, why? That reaction is exactly what I'm going to talk about today. Whenever someone exposes the system, the people most likely to push back are the ones who sacrificed and invested the most for it. They have a lot to lose when the system crumbles, and that's why they're defending it. When you've spent years doing everything right, you follow every rule you've been given. The last thing you want to hear is that the game was rigged from the very beginning. And that's not a small thing to sit with. And most people don't sit there. They push back. Reason number 1, identity. Here's the first reason why. When someone has spent 20, 30, or 40 years doing everything right, the good grades, the stable job, the house, the family, hearing that the system is a trap isn't just a new idea to consider. It's an attack on their entire life story. Defending the system isn't really about the system. It's about defending the version of them who chose that system, who invested everything for that system. And because if everything is wrong, if the system is wrong, then what was all that sacrifice for? Reason number 2, cognitive dissonance. There's a psychological term for what happens next. Cognitive dissonance. It happens when reality conflicts with a belief you've held for a long time. Your mind doesn't quietly update that belief. It fights back. It looks for reasons the other person is wrong, naive, or irresponsible. So why does that happen? It's not stupidity, it's self-preservation. The brain is doing exactly what it was designed to do, protect you from pain. And what's more painful, believing someone on the internet is wrong or believing your entire life was built on a lie. And the answer is obvious. So the brain protects you and you defend the prison. Reason number 3, sunk cost. Here's where it gets deeper. The people who defend the system the loudest are often the ones who suffered the most inside it. Because think about that. The person who worked 60 hours a week for 20 years, the one who gave up their dreams to be responsible, the one who sacrificed the most, they're often the most resistant. Because the more you've given up on something, the more desperately you need to believe that it was worth it. And admitting that the system failed you means admitting that the sacrifice meant nothing. And that's a grief that most people are not ready to face. Which brings us to reason number 4. It's wired into us. It goes even deeper than psychology. It's biological. For most human history, questioning the rules was dangerous. And people who challenged authority, who stepped out of line, were punished. They were rejected, cast out, sometimes even worse. So, the instinct to conform, to defend the norm, to silence the person rocking the boat, that's not weakness. That's thousands of years of survival programming running in the background. Your nervous system genuinely believes that fitting in keeps you safe. The system didn't create this from scratch. It just learned how to use it against us. And the last reason number 5, hope. This is the most human of all. Some people know deep down, they know something is off. They feel the weight of every Monday morning. They sense the cage even if they can't name it. But they defend the system anyways. Because the belief that if I just work harder, if I just stay patient, it will pay off. And that belief is the only thing that's keeping them going. Taking that away doesn't feel like liberation. It feels like cruelty. So they push back, not because they're blind, because if that hope disappears, what do they have left? So if you're someone who questions the system and you see someone defending the system that's hurting them, I want you to resist the urge to argue with them, to correct them, to prove them wrong, because they're not your enemy. They're just people who haven't had the space yet to question what they were handed. And people don't wake up because someone won an argument. They wake up when the pain of staying asleep becomes greater than the fear of opening their eyes. And that moment looks different for everyone. You can't force it. You can only plant the seed. My last video woke something up in a lot of you. And for the ones who pushed back, I see you and I understand why. And I want to remind everyone that the goal here was never to play it safe, because playing it safe is what got us into this mess in the first place. Playing it safe is how the system wins. The goal is to question everything, to stop shrinking, to fight back, because the system only survives when we conform. The bar is only permanent when we believe they are. So another thing that I want to address is that there are so many people asking in the comments, so what now? What's the solution? What can we do about it? And of course, there is no definitive solution to a sophisticated, convoluted situation like this. But there are many channels out there discussing the solutions and little things we can do as a collective to weaken the power of the current system. The core issue is concentrated power. Many people are already having this discussion, but no single video, channel, or person has the full answer. And honestly, that's okay, because the first step was never about having all the solutions. It was about being willing to ask the right questions. And if you're watching this, you already did that, so kudos to you. Another thing that I wanted to add is that I'm not going to tell you what to do next, because the moment I do that, I become another voice telling you what to think and how to think. And that's exactly what we are trying to break free from. So I encourage every one of you to do your research, question everything, including me. If you found this video insightful, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more content like this. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.